answer was going to be into a fairly tanky and beefy composition in the likes of the Scion and now the Poppy added to the roster of Xin and Sivir. But it is all three grubs going over to OMG, whereas Croco will secure the first dragon of the game.
I think this counts as character development because we saw in a very similar situation where OMG were taking the grubs and the dragon was available in the last series they played. Croco actually opted to go invade and take away
Moham using his ultimate summon, or ultimate spell, I should say. Might be a potential collapse. Croco was spotted on that control ward. Is that crab worth it, Croco? We're going to find out. He's right on top of the Unraveled Earth, but great scatter of the week from Bulldog. But the seismic shove flicks him back into the waiting arms. Haichao is forced to flash, but at the end of the day, it is still first blood going into the hands of Juhan. Dagger combo. Start working towards those Berserk Greaves.
Moham's dead.
He has Flash and Exhaust available, as well as Solar Flare, but he's pushed in by missing, and the Steadfast Presence prevents him from getting the Zenith Blade out to safety. And even with the Flash, you're absolutely right, Melvin. That is a dead Moham right there. Juhan has Cyclone available, but it is effectively a 2v3, so I don't know if he really wants to fight that. Good flick.
Removes a lot of that threat away from his aggressive plays and enables LNG to do stuff like this.
No. Scatter of the Week does not quite land, but he finally hits him into the wall. Croco is now finishing the assassination. Haichao finally goes down as Bulldog was tanking the turret shots, and Moham arrives to the party a little too late. Oh, great pick by 1xN. Starry forced to use the cleanse off the Chain of Corruptions. Flashes away. No way he gets out alive. Yeah, missing. Just slams him into the wall. And that's... You messed up. You shouldn't have been out there. And you shouldn't burn tools to try and, like, make the situation better for yourself. Now, missing... He doesn't have Flash from before. Solar Flare, a little wide, only slows him down. Keeper's Verdict for the knockup on the Juhan to slow him down as well. And, oh boy.
It's really just a bit of posturing, because OMG know if we lose this Rift Herald, it just means that the dragon fight is important. But maybe we see somebody jump in for a potential steal.
Missing is the target from OMG. They're investing a lot of tools just to knock him out of the fight, but... Sheer showing up to the party might turn things around. Missing is finally eliminated. Croco takes this entire time to take the Rift Herald, and now he's isolated. Tries to dash onto one target and give himself a little bit of healing off the Redemption proc, but it's not enough. Harry might be in trouble, but walks away from the decimating smash, and the rest of OMG have full control of this top side jungle. But Juhan is wrapping over on the left side. Starry completely cut off, as you called out. Scatter of the Week goes wide on the left side. Starry still pinned under the tower. Croco's gonna give Juhan a bit of a poke. Forces him over the Dragon Pit wall. They're still trying to threaten this tier 1 turret. Sheer is flicked under the tower, but it's gone. Scatter of the Week does connect on to Starry. He burns the ultimate. Everyone's getting the movement speed around. And the rest of OMG are a little precocious about how they want to approach this fight because they cannot just walk into Scion that simply, as OMG are taking their time, but they're losing a lot of tools. And I think this dragon fight so far is favored for LNG.
It definitely is LNG just running the pit right now. The question is, can Juhan get a Miracle Steal? Moham just marking out the vision. But OMG, they're kind of not sure whether they're cutting and leaving or not right now, as I think LNG are just playing the range difference, getting the winning composition, as now finally we get some violence.
Juhan? He's in there. Harry's also alongside him. Who's going to get the dragon fight? It's 2K 1300. Juhan secures it. That's the feat of a forfeit for OMG. And the fight breaks out completely. 1xN isolated. Missing. Can't really do anything. The fight is already won by OMG. Croco is sit down in the grave. LNG lose the fight. They lose
start to go out of hand from there. This time around, Starry flashing over the Scion, not dealing with that nonsense, and we do see a pick on the Bulldog.
No flash available. The big pick by Haichao into the Solar Flare. Mid laner is gone for LNG, and that's a significant carry threat eliminated by OMG. Missing could be the next target here. Sidesteps the Zenith Blade, but it does force him to walk back into the waiting arms of OMG. 3 to 5 on the map. That should be the Otacon for OMG.
Listen, we've been talking about Starry as the main character, but Haichao is having a cracking game for himself, initiating basically all of the picks that OMG have had in their favor. These Unraveled Earths have been absolute cinema to watch so far. As the player that people told me coming into this season, well, you know, he's kind of there. He's a decent mid. He did well on LNG, but he's the Galio or the Azir. Bulldog Syndra won out in both of those games. This time on the Talia, though, you can see he's got a lot more comfort going into this. He is taking advantage of the ability to pick out that immobile mage, the immobile Varus. No spell shield yet for him as OMG siege up this mid tower. Another great wall comes in. No chance of an engage. coming out from LNG.
This is a chance now for Hai Chao, if they are able to close this game out. Not only they get the first one up in the series, but they've also already defeated Bulldog's essentially most comfortable champion. As they're looking for a pick with the Solar Flare, goes wide, slows down the entire front line. Harry has found one onto Croco, and if the jungler's gone, then there's no chance that they can secure the dragon. Croco still has a flash. He's waiting his time, sits in the redemption circle, gets a bit of healing, and flashes away from the flick set up by Hai Chao. Croco's now on the other side of the wall, trying to look through, entering on the bottom side of this Dragon River entrance. Harry, hit by the Scatter of the Week. Juhan, burning down the dragon as fast as possible. Hai Chao looking for another flick. Dodges the wind, becomes lightning. Keeper's Verdict, punts out one in Moham's Leona. Unraveled Earth and Flick does not find anyone. 3K on the dragon, getting closer. 1K, it's Juhan that secures it. Moham comes back in the fight. Juhan's in! Flash with the Cyclone onto the front line. One extended Bulldog waiting for the time. Hai Chao gets into the back line, looks for the flick. A little too wide, flashes away to the turtle one. Moham boxes him up, but he is destroyed by the Scatter of the Week of Bulldog Syndra. But OMG have them corralled. They're trying to corner them and push them into this wall, but Sheer is still a giant meat shield that he can step up. Trying to argue some time. Harry goes all out, completely dies. OMG are collapsing.
Starry?
Too far. Croco.
Starry?
But Starry's still surviving, but he is getting destroyed and mollywopped by the undead passive of Sheer. He's gonna battle Juhan to the end, but Juhan, the last member standing. And
you have 20 seconds left. Will they just flip it and go Baron? You're a poke comp. You can't lose the Mountain Soul or it's cooked.
This is why you don't steal the cookie jar at night, kids. Anyway, fight breaking out into the mid lane. Good flick on to Sheer, but he gets a 3-man unstoppable onslaught.
Starry's dead!
Follows up and eliminates Starry! No Sivir! No way OMG can carry out this fight, even with the G on top of Juhan, but Hai Chao's gonna try his damnedest to look for it. The flick doesn't find 1xN. Hai Chao is occupied. 1xN is still firing arrows, but now he's got to deal with Harry, who is approaching. Bulldog, completely safe, sends out of the Scatter of the Week stun. Sheer occupying and buying so much space, but Harry and Hai Chao are still alive.
Oh, that flash!
Throws another rock and pelts 1xN in the face with a giant boulder. Bulldog knows that the fight is cooked, and he's gonna recall back to the base.
But we have double
TP. Alive long enough for either of these junglers to get involved. Starry has popped the ultimate just to make sure he can get in here. Keeper's Verdict, looking for the windup. Not gonna happen. OMG secure Mountain Soul at 32 minutes.
Understandably, gets one shot for it. Whereas Hai Chao on the left side is just doing absolute work. Bulldog's
the flick from Moham, looking on the left side, Solar Flare right on top of Bulldog. He's getting blasted. Hai Chao cuts off the retreat path. Croco's got nowhere else to run, and he's buying as much time as he can, but it's not enough time in this world to survive. OMG, eliminate 3 in the blink of an eye, and it's time for Baron.
Yep, once the Mountain Soul came in, I think the real chance of an LNG comeback plummeted from about 40% down to 10. And with the Baron, it's going down to single digits here. We have 1xN trying to grab whatever gold he can, but it's a tier 1 bot tower at 33 minutes against Mountain Soul and Baron. It's all but curtains. Unless OMG truly make a mistake going in. They may go for some desperation plays to try and find anything, but OMG doesn't even want to give them the angle.
I'm not sure if Sheer is actually dead here or not. Well, the flick finds him, and the Keeper's Verdict does punt away one, but Harry and Hai Chao should have enough CC between them to ensure that this Scion eventually goes down. It takes a while, but even without a Liange's Torment, they've got the damage and the tank shredding abilities to finally take out this super beefcake, and LNG are now without a tank for the next
mid here because you need to find something. If you just let this play out, it is OMG playing a really solid 0-1-4, split out, just take as much priority as you can off the minion waves, let Starry one-shot whatever tower's in front of him. Job's done, don't need to think about it much more than that. LNG's trying to pelt out some poke, but without forcing something, I mean, you don't have the poppy ult, you can't make an unfair fight happen. It really is OMG's game to lose here.
How cruel is the world for LNG to draft a poke composition just to get negated by Mountain Soul and 3 Mountain Dragons. Decent Scatter of the Week stun onto the back line. High Chow forced to walk away. Sheer leads the charge with the unstoppable onslaught. Good flick tries to keep him back. Decimating smash interrupted by Juhan. Cyclone. Frontliners trading health bars so far. Backliners staying safe. Starry just throwing out boomerang blades one after another. Bulldog trying to find an angle. Throws out the ultimate. Almost takes out Harry. Harry finally goes down. It's a 4-on-4 for now. Moham is dropped by Sheer's undead passive. And OMG Siege is stopped for now. But High Chow waiting in the shadows. Looking for a flick. Croco forced to dash through the unraveling earth to dodge the flick in full, but High Chow just has so much damage. The flash for nothing. Croco panicking in the late game. Bulldog trying to see if he can find the Scatterlink Sun, but High Chow's too fast. He skates right through it, and OMG's mid laner is really showing how he can turn this series on its head.
He is feeling himself this time around, and we see topside, it is both Sivir and Juhan pushing this tower. Bulldog being down here fishing for the pick. I don't know if he could have saved that top tower, but this is just resources away from the defense.
Oh no! Flick does send missing back.
Puppy.
High Chow burning to the ignite. You know what? 28 minutes. A 7,000 gold advantage can all be undone in one single team fight for this objective. Croco has already begun the Elder Dragon spawn leash. Trying to look at Sheer right now, forced to back away. Tanks about a quarter of his HP as punishment. Juhan still leading the charge, crushing blow. Baits out the decimating smash. Moham trying to slow him down with the solar flare. And High Chow is lurking around the shadows. Cuts them off with the Weaver's Wall. Trying to poke at them with rocks. A flick finds missing. That's a lot of damage.
You gotta do something.
That's a dead Poppy. It's 5-4. Moham goes in on the Bulldog. Croco with the ultimate pushes them back. Bulldog trying to buy space for himself. Pushes Moham away to the left side, but the rest of OMG's backline are pushing through and eliminating the front line of the Big of an Eye, and it's only 1xN left to try and do anything, but anything is just not good enough at this stage of the game. Starry picks up the triple. They don't even need the Elder Dragon. They could just push to end the game.
A valiant attempt to try and get something done at the end there, but OMG absolute wallet diff them, playing out that fight to minimize any chance for Bulldog to play the game, recognizing the scariest member, and doing really solid work to avoid getting one shot, as now Nexus falls. OMG take first blood in the series that is looking like it's gonna be a